Navigating in Google Ads account can be tricky, especially for new users. Some settings are hidden away and not easily found. Does Google do it on purpose? No one knows. But you should know where to find them and what to do about it, because it might not only save you money, but increase the performance as well. Our first stop is the auto apply recommendations in your account. So click on recommendations in your left menu, then click on the auto apply icon right here and make sure that you have unselected all of these checkboxes right here. You don't need Google applying any recommendations without you knowing about it. So this is the first stop in the account. Visit here, remove all the checkboxes, and then you're good to go. The second setting is in the campaign settings, and we're talking about location settings, and this is what I always recommend. No matter what you're targeting, expand this location options and select the second option. Now the difference is that the first one is a bit broader, the second one is a bit narrower. So if you want to a little bit expand your campaign, then you might leave the recommended one. But in this case, you might get traffic from countries you're not necessarily targeting. This is key, as you might be wasting your clicks. Automatically created assets. Now, this is also in the campaign settings, and you need to scroll down right here, expand it, and make sure to turn it off. Now, if you leave it on, Google will use your landing page or content, your ads, to suggest and create headlines and descriptions. Now, again, you don't need that because you have to be the one who's in control of your creative assets. Frequency management. This is another often missed setting for display new to campaigns. If you run campaigns, you know that the ads can be shown to the same person over and over again. Usually this is good, as various research says that people tend to see ads several times before engaging with them or converting. But in marketing, there is a rule called the rule of seven that suggests that customers need to see your brand at least 7 times before committing to a purchase. It's an old concept and it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. But if you do display campaigns and your budget is smaller, what I sometimes do is I try to limit how many times the same person sees my ad. And then I start with the number 7. In the account, you just go to campaign settings, find frequency management, expand here and set a preference. Select whether it's ad group or campaign and enter your number of impressions for specific, let's say, ad group, and whether it's per day or per week. So that depends on your structure and the product and etc. But this is where you can manage how many times one person sees your ads. Content suitability. If you do a lot of display campaigns, what you have to do is go to tools and select content suitability to make sure that your ads appear on the content that is suited to your brand. So usually you use standard inventory, but if you want to more control on where or on which websites your ads appear, you can select limited. Also, you can expand advanced settings and select some of the things on the account level that you would like to exclude. Usually you would exclude, like tragedy and conflict and sensitive stuff and, maybe below default, some gaming and park domains. So this is where you exclude all the categories that you don't want your ads to appear. This is very beneficial for most of the businesses as they care about the brand and where the ads appear. So this is important. Make sure you visit that. It's on the account level, although you can set it up on a campaign level. Usually it's enough to do it on account level and you don't have to worry about it later on. Account access. Now, I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but a lot of people don't know how to add users or managers. So all you have to do is go to admin and access and security, and then you'll find where you can add your users that can have access to your account, or where you can add managers where they will have access to your account, but it's easier for you to control them because you can remove them at any time. This is mostly a beginner stuff, but from my experience, there's a lot of people who just don't know how to add users, and now there's no reason to exchange these emails explaining someone how to do that. Dynamic assets. Now, you probably heard about campaign assets that you can add to your campaign, right? You can find them in the assets, and here you have image and business name and business logo, and site links. What you may not know is that there are some dynamic assets that Google adds them, dynamically to your ads, and sometimes they don't make any sense because they're based on your web page. Now, what you can do, or what you have to do in this case, is go to your assets and then click more right here and go to account level assets and then click here to the settings. Now, most of them have to be turned off. You don't want Google creating site links or callouts or adding images and other things. You have to be in control. All of the assets can be added in the assets menu menu right here, so you don't have to rely on Google to control them. Some of them you can keep. For example, you may keep seller ratings on because it just redisplays the ratings, or you may keep longer headlines, which again makes your ads more prominent. This is where you lose control a little bit because you don't know what the Google will input. Review all the assets, and my recommendation is to turn them all off. How to remove campaign drafts. Now, if you're creating a lot of campaigns like me or testing a lot of them, you might get this message when creating a campaign. Google will suggest to continue with one of the drafts and maybe you created earlier. So I really hate when this happens. Now you can remove or delete the drafts because you can't see them in your list. But if you go to overview and find draft campaigns, all I have to do is just hover on the draft campaign and just click remove. This way you'll avoid the annoying pop-up message suggesting to continue with the draft campaigns. IP exclusions. Now, most of you don't know, but you can exclude certain APs from seeing your ad. The best way to do it is exclude, for example, your office. If your office is small, then it may not be a big of a difference. But if you have a huge office and you run ads, most likely people can Google and do Google your brand or other keywords, and they may accidentally click on the ad. Now, this creates additional expense because, well, those people are your employees and they won't buy anything from you. All you have to do is go to the admin, account settings, find IP exclusions, and list your office or home IPs. Have in mind that when you exclude your office IP or your home IP, you won't be able to see your ads as well if you're an account manager. So have that in mind. Observations for display campaigns. Now, if you use search campaigns, you know that you can add audiences to your search campaigns for the observation. Now, of course, you can add for targeting as well, but usually most people recommend adding several audiences to your search campaigns just to see what the performance is and, as the name suggests, observe if there are any differences. Now, what you can also do is the same thing for display campaigns. Now, you know that display campaign targeting is on the ad group level, but you can add an observation audience as well. Now, target audience is the one that you target, and observation is just there to get the data and you can compare performance. All you have to do is go to the ad group, your display campaign, ad group, click here settings, then edit ad group settings, and then you'll see your targeting that you can add or your observation. That's audiences, topics, or placements. So if you want to observe a specific target and see if it can impact your campaign, you can add it first under observations and then choose as targeting audience if you see a better performance. Data exclusions. Not many know, but you can exclude certain period of time when, for example, your conversion tracking crashed. This is common for bigger businesses when there's a lot of conversions, a lot of spend, and something happens maybe on a website or somewhere else on the servers, and the tracking crashes or the website doesn't work. So you might see a few days or maybe a week data is not coming into Google Ads, and that can impact performance. But now you can exclude that period of time. You have to go to Tools, then scroll down to Budgets and Bidding, and then click on Adjustments. Click on Exclusions. And here you can add an exclusion. You can name it and then select the period of time, select the campaign type and devices. And this is perfect, as I mentioned, for the dates where something crashes. Google notes itself. This is great for the data outages. So now you can exclude a certain period of time and it won't be counted into your performance, which means that your campaign performance will not suffer. I hope that at least one setting was new to you and you learned something useful. If that's the case, please subscribe for more videos and I will see you next time.